Okay, so I got a few slides, and I think the slides will help us to sort of focus on this discussion. So that's not good. Where are my slides? Okay. Right. Format slideshow. Okay. So basically, what we're looking at today is that you and me as a business, we have our normal sales activities, but what we are discussing today is something that's not you're gonna, something you're not gonna do every day. It's almost like one-off or sort of campaign led, right? So how do you get some scalable sales done fairly quickly using established and proven growth channels? So I sort of broken this down into two areas. One is that discounted pricing. So you're discounting the price heavily in order to get a large number of customers. There are pros and cons associated with that. And the other one is putting your product against competitors in order to initiate some sales. It is good to be compared against others, especially dominant players. I don't think we should ever be scared of doing that. I think if we pretend that we are the only people in the market, I think we're just kidding ourselves. So let's have a discussion and look at whether these are useful. So the first one I picked is AppSumo. AppSumo, I was very close to listing, but I sort of held back. It has to be the right product, I think. Whereas with Skilled Up Life, it's not really a product as typical SaaS type application. And it has to be offered with a heavy discount. There are over 1 million people or 1 million buyers on AppSumo. These guys are normally called Sumo links. Hi, Raj. Thanks for joining. And you had to choose either you're going to offer a discounted pricing, or whether you're going for, again, heavily discounted, but lifetime offers. The interesting point with lifetime offers is that it's driven by the crowd mentality. If people see a good price offer for the lifetime, they will just buy it. Might not use it, but might just buy it in case they need it in the future. So you have to discount that heavily. And there is a significant service cost associated with this. If your product is a simple product, then that service cost is bare minimum. Obviously, once you pay something, they become customers, and therefore they will have lots of questions of how to use your product, etc. So you need to have FAQs in place. You need to have video tutorials and everything else in place, plus providing one-to-one or one-to-many type customer support activities. And with AppSumo, there's also a money-back guarantee. So the customers can, you won't get paid until 90 days. So you have a cash flow issue because you now know that, let's say a large amount of money is coming in 3 months' time. But you have to start servicing those customers 3 months before, because as soon as they sign up, you have to start engaging with them. But it will take 3 months for the money to arrive. And during that time, some of that money might not come because the customers they're not happy with your product. But also they are, because most of when the products are offered through AppSumo, they are more fairly new products. So you are actually getting early adapters into your customer base. So from engagement point of view, it's quite good because they will ask all sort of questions which will help you to strengthen your product. So just looking at what Raj offers, I think Raj, you are selling at enterprise level, aren't you? So I don't know whether that will work, but if you can offer a lighter version or a version that heavily discounted, people understand easily, you could generate, let's say, 100K revenues. The potential to generate 100K revenues is there with AppSumo.
Oh, that's right. Actually, yeah, I'm also pivoted slightly as well to go to the SME space, and we have actually few of them like that as well. It's really good. Yeah.
Okay, so you should look at it because it can address cash flow issues. And another way to look at this, as because of the cost elements, the servicing cost element, you could also look at this saying, if you raise money, you are giving away equity. And here is almost a little bit like that. This is customers giving you revenue, but that could come with a lot of issues. But nevertheless, the same pain that you would go by giving away equity, you have a bit of pain here, but you could get a decent amount of revenue coming in. And this is not something you want to do more than once. So it's just, once in a life time for your product. So it's worth looking at it. There is a process, and as part of it, you had to create coupons. So each customer will get a unique coupon, and then it need to be tied to your product. So how you do that is, I think they do have a team who helps you make that work. So this is the first one I want to talk about. Akhlaq, obviously you are way behind. You haven't tried any of this before, have you?
No, I haven't.
You have or you haven't?
No, I haven't.
Okay. Russell, I think it's for you. I think it's worth looking at it. But it could also be a distraction, so you need to allocate time. You also need to, just like everything else, you can't just rely 100% on the million plus user base they have. You still need to sort of you still need to do a bit of marketing around that as well. But it's something, if you guys want to do it, quite happy to look at how I can support. So the next one I got is different type of. Now these are again for early stage products. Product Hunt. Everybody knows about Product Hunt, right?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So Product Hunt is you're not offering any discounts. You could, if you wish to, with a sort of a unique code, but it's typically trying to get your product to be noticed by a large number of people. So you want to get to each day there's a list of products that they sort of get ranked to the top, and it's seen as a bit of an accolade to get to the top. So you need to have a marketing machine behind. You need to prepare, and people prepare at least 30 days in advance with doing various activities in order to get to the top of the list on that particular day. So it is worth looking at doing. Again, you are bringing on board early adopters. I still feel like, that's something I want to do for Skilled Up Life, but I need to get myself organized if I'm going to do it. What I've done recently is to engage with the Product Hunt community by answering their questions and sort of softly promoting Skilled Up Life. So I also have quite a large number of followers from the past. They might not necessarily be active. So again, if you want to look at it, basically one person hunt the product and list it. That's the idea, right? So the general idea is that somebody would come against a new product and they want to tell their follower base about this amazing product. That's how it started. So I got a follower base, so I can list it for you, but provided you do all the preparation work. So for me, it's a matter of listing, and you got all the diagrams, you got all the videos all ready, but I can list it for you. So again, Raj, and I think Russell, may be worth putting aside some time to see whether this can work. Russell, all your customer base is from UK, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this could open up US customers. Raj, what about you? Is it all UK at the moment?
No, US, we have
Okay,
two
okay.
from the US, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So again, this gives a promotion. I don't know how much of that would convert to sale. But one of the things that we all had to do is that we had to somehow get our product onto many sites, because all these backlinks really start to help. And that's one of the ways I built my last company, eDocker. I had a lot of backlinks. I was mentioning my company in many, many websites, and that helps to build our brand. So there are other sites. Oh, sorry, went forward. Oh, okay. Okay. So there are other sites similar to that called BetaList. Now, BetaList, I think they charge, I can't remember, £50 or £100. One point I had a discounted offer. Nobody sort of was interested in that, but I might be able to negotiate if, let's say, 4 or 5 companies going to list. Basically, what happens here is that it's an online site where a large number of products get listed, but they send an email out almost every day with a list of the new products, and those new products are all paying customers. So you could list free of charge on the site, but they would come back and say there's something wrong, or it's not good enough. They won't promote. So they are basically asking for 50 quid or 100 quid, I can't remember, dollars to list. But I think I might be able to cut a deal if more people are interested in. Again, you are now, you'll be listed with other companies of similar offers. So you are now beginning to associate with other brands. Right? We can go and have a look at some of these sites in a minute. Then you have G2 Crowd. G2 Crowd came up.
Sorry, Manoj, just a quick question. This is useful, right? So how do companies like us, maybe perhaps any startup, can use it? Is it really about the positioning? Is it about the reviews and stuff? Or?
Yeah, so it's about, you need to know where you position, what categories you come under. And this, by listing, I mean, that will also help you, because you have to think now, right? So you might, I've been working very closely with RAM. So we are currently repositioning Compira, not Kaya, Compira, because some of the issues we got, some of the feedback we had is there's too many recruitment technology companies out there. Yes, we talk about diversity, etc. So does everybody else. So we are now having to sort of look at it and say, can we reposition it where maybe there's less competition in that, maybe the value proposition is now a little bit more interesting than just saying, recruitment. So this will help. Now with G2 Crowd, the background is I've known these guys from day one almost, because they started this because they got fed up with Gartner. One point you create, it was all about Gartner. Would Gartner look at you, right? Obviously, Gartner charges 30,000 onwards for that, but so they wanted to come up with something much more simpler, easy for everybody to look at. If you want a piece of software, basically it's a catalog. So they've done a really good job, and but they are, they have whereas Gartner has a quadrant, magic quadrant, they do have a quadrant as well, but they've become, in a way, not Gartner, but they still charge quite a hefty sum. So I was a board advisor for a US company for a long time called Kasumi. So they were, I think they spent something like 20 grand on G2 Crowd. They were targeting mid-market, and they got quite a lot of value out of that. So I'm not talking about you spending that sort of money, but first thing is to actually start listing yourself. And part of this is that you need to also get reviews from your customers. Now, G2 Crowd and others also pay people to review. And I have earned Amazon vouchers by reviewing certain companies in the past as well. So, they are quite happy that in Amazon, I can't remember, $30 or something like that, or even less, because they are quite happy to give that money away because they are making, I don't know, 10 or 100x out of that by charging companies. So these are some of the things we should all need to look at. So we can go and take a deeper look if you like to do that. Any sort of questions to get going?
Yes, what's the payoff? Which ones are the easiest to get going with, would you say?
So the two types is, well, three types. One is that comparison sites. So the free ones to start free. And obviously G2 Crowd is probably the most prominent, depending on who your buyer is. So Russell, I think, you are selling to companies, so it's worth, your category will be very well defined. Maybe subcategories need to be looked at. And if somebody's need a training software, for example, training, so they, I don't know what the specific subject matter, they would be coming to look at G2 Crowd. So it's worth taking time and looking at it and thinking about it, just to list, it doesn't cost. Now, BetaList and others, they charge a small fee. Again, if you can afford it, it's probably worth. But then if you pay for BetaList, then you need to think about a campaign around that. Because, you will only get on their email once. And so you need to make the most out of it. And on the, again, on BetaList, against your profile, people can comment. And if you get more comments, etc., and with BetaList, you could also offer a small discount, which might tempt people to sign up. And then if you look at AppSumo, it's a lot more work involved. So you have to be absolutely sure before you commit yourself to AppSumo. Whereas the others, there isn't a risk associated with extra workload other than the campaign itself.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone else? If there's no questions, which one would you like to take a look at in a bit more detail?
Can we have a look at G2 Crowd?
Okay.
You're recording this, right? Probably
Yeah,
missed the first bit. Okay,
yeah.
thanks. I couldn't get off that meeting, so yeah, thank you.
Okay. I think I have a count. Just 1 minute. I haven't done anything recently. Okay. So you could go and look at sales marketing. I can't see education. Is it training, more training, right, Russell?
Yeah, I say so.
Okay. So what give me a name of a competitor, big competitor.
Udemy?
Sorry, can't hear you.
Udemy?
Ah, okay. Okay. So if you look at Udemy, online learning platform, okay. So this is their grid. So the general idea is that you want to find a way to get onto this grid. Now, it might be that because G2 Crowd is now fairly big, that they might have a fee before they will even look at adding you there. So in that case, that might not be an option right now, but you could get on in the list, which won't be, there won't be any fee associated with being on this list. So if I look at, let's see whether Kasumi is still there. So this is Kasumi, the company I mentioned. So now you have, everybody knows about Zapier. There's a comparison between them. Boomi, MuleSoft, these are big mega company. MuleSoft, Salesforce acquired MuleSoft. So they're all getting, Kasumi is getting compared. So every time somebody is looking at MuleSoft, for example, Kasumi should pop in. And that means they're getting in front of those potential buyers. And that's where you want to get to. Now, obviously, they have paid quite a lot of money. They might be paying a lot more now. But you could start small without paying anything, and again, filter. It's not really great reviews here though, but you could see that there are reviews, right? So Russell, I think you're probably ready to go on G2 Crowd, I think.
Yeah, yeah, seen it.
Sorry?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. So it's just, obviously you need to do a bit of research to see what others are saying. I don't know whether, no, there's no videos, just screenshots. Yeah, looks like just screenshots. I think my old company was there as well, if I remember. Yeah, I didn't do much. I mean, obviously.
It's like a shop window, isn't it, Manoj? Like
Yes.
a LinkedIn page, but this is much more. It's more vetted, right? That's or paid to be vetted.
So you have the reviews that would determine the number of stars. Then to get on their grid, I think you need to be a paying customer, but that itself might not necessarily guarantee.
Put you there, yeah.
But the starting point is simply listing and listing on the right categories. It's possible that they might only offer you 3 subcategories, something like that. So you need to think about it. But what to call talent management, for example. There's a whole lot of software, write up about it, because I think they also sell this research, which is just compiling their data and putting some text around it as reports, etc. Some reports are free, so you could download them and take a look at. Well, Zoom is considered recruiting software as well. Yeah, so there's a heavy bias towards Americans. It's simply because there's too many companies there, but you should see companies from all over now.
Yep.
Then you have anything else before I move to the next one?
No, nothing from my end.
Raj, any questions?
I'm good. Thanks, Manish.
So if we go to BetaList, for example, so if I look at my dashboard, see they were not selected maybe because I didn't pay anything. And you can, it's, again, similar in some similarities with Product Hunt, but Product Hunt, I think, get a lot more attention than here. But you could again come here and look at, let's say, training. I don't think Udemy would be here, probably, who knows. So there's also a community as well for people who are building markets. So if we look at, there's one called corporate training. So there's a whole bunch of software products here. So again, you're not getting a lot of engagement, but nevertheless, it's there. So this is not the mid-market. This is probably the bottom end of the market. But still, it could be, I think I can go back, if there's enough interest, I can go back and negotiate the pricing. I don't think it will be that much, right? So you will see a few comments here, etc. And it gives you a quick, the whoever's built, the CEO, etc. There are some. So there's a number of other products similar to this as well. I just wanna get the concept out there, the different type of entities out there that could help you. So we looked at these two product hunts, and then what's happening with all of these, I don't know whether it's happening with G2, but these, so G2 is top end, but then these sites are the sort of the entry level and the sort of the bottom end of the market. And that market, they are trying to also have a community involvement, hence why we have this now, community attached with BetaList. If you go to Product Hunt, Product Hunt now has a community. So this is my profile. So I got quite a number of followers, etc. And I've been quite active over the last couple of months to rebuild my profile with the idea one day I want to list Skilled Up Life here. So there's a lot of blog posts written about how to go and launch on Product Hunt. So again, you need to prepare. I think you need to prepare 30 days in advance, and you need to have a good schedule of hitting certain things to get to that one day when you are running that campaign. Right? I think I saved some. Let me try to find them. Wakelet, some articles in the past. Product Hunt. So I have 3 articles which I can share later. If you don't know Wakelet is a place where you could share links, and then you could have a Product Hunt category, and the articles you see can be just saved under that and revisit it. So we got 10 minutes. Coming back to, so we looked at Product Hunt. Yeah, so again, Product Hunt it doesn't quite have the catalog, but nevertheless, if we go here, they have a section called upcoming products as well. So they are looking at the value chain of saying, you're going to launch your product, but let's capture that market, not even before, even before the launch, let's get that engagement going. So these products are there to help you, but obviously they are making money out of it as well. But as far as I know, you're not paying for listing. But they do have other paying products as well. So coming back to AppSumo, maybe we'll finish with AppSumo. Again, because there's a large number of products, you need to also do some research to understand how even here, how you're going to position, what's going to be in these two lines, right? What's going to be attractive to 1 million potential users or customers. But, and again, there are a lot of case studies. People share their success and failures of listing on these sites. So you need to read and be prepared. I think what need to be done is look at saying, you can't do all of them in one go. Which ones, which ones resonate with you, your business, and which one would you like to then go, and what's that timeline is. And then you need to put some resources behind that to make it work, make it happen.
AppSumo caters to which end of the market, Manoj? Is it
small businesses?
Okay.
So it's bargain hunters in essence, right? So if you look at, for example, Stuart Townsend has bought lots of software through here, and he's just sitting on them. Maybe one day he might need it. So I would say it would be probably less than 50 staffed organizations. Because anybody above that, they wouldn't come here looking for a bargain. It might be even less than 25 staff.
Okay. Okay.
So it depends whether
they give a lifetime deal, or it's a deal per month, per annum, or whatever. How does it?
So lifetime deal is questionable, saying what is a lifetime. Sometimes you could argue saying lifetime could be 3 years, it could be forever. And
see, that's why when I see this, you see this 99. What does that mean? Is it you pay 99 and that's it?
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it. You have the product for if it's lifetime deal, you have the product forever. Remember, you bought a product which I recommended, which maybe was through here, maybe was direct, a LinkedIn add-on.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And that was a lifetime deal. I bought it as well, but I haven't really used it.
I tried using it a little bit, but yeah. Okay.
So you typical, most of the AppSumo folks would be just buying it because it's a good bargain and never really using it. So it's a quick revenue channel, but so you had to. So that's why I was sort of referring it to a investment. Instead of equity, you are having to support that influx of customers with lots of questions. They might not follow your customer persona. These are random people, and they could be people, they could be companies. You never know, right? And then the cost is sorting that out, but you get revenue 3 months after. If your campaign is successful, there is no guarantee.
Okay.
But in terms of this type of proposition, AppSumo is number one. Again, G2 Crowd is, there are other bigger comparison sites, but in terms of where we are, I would say they are number one. I can't remember. I mean, in terms of G2 type entities, there's like 20, 30 sites doing the same thing. If you just so I think the important thing is looking at this and okay, there's something here I want to do over the next 3 months or 6 months, right? And then coming up with a plan and which ones you're gonna play on.
Yes, thanks, useful.
And always this is something in addition, almost like a one-time only activity you will do in terms of generating revenue. But G2 crowd and just listing on sites like that, that is not a short-term thing, because that you will continue to engage with them, continue to build reviews. The more reviews, the more people likely to view the product as positive. So you could separate them into one time only, or starting and continuing. And you could also look at, say, in G2 crowd and the others, there's 20 or 30 similar sites out there. Which ones do you want to play on? Do you want to actually have an entry on all of them because they create backlinks, and these are all positive sites, so there is no damage by listing in all of them. And I would recommend doing that. But then picking up one or two winners that you think gonna suit your product and your positioning. It's all about positioning, end of the day.
Would you be able to send us a list of like the other 20?
Yeah, so I'll try to. I think I got a list here and there. So yeah, so I'll compile a list.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Manish. And I had a question. Jesus, bloody old age. I have to start writing. Okay. It'll come back to me. It'll come back to me.
I like it when other people struggle like me.
It happens to me every day.
Yeah.
Hey man, you're like in 30s, right?
Oh no, not in my 30s. I've hit 40 now. apparently I'm not allowed to say I'm in my late 30s.
I'll be 54 shortly.
Yeah. That's not too bad.
Yeah. So Raj, any thoughts? No? Okay.
This is good. Thanks, Manoj. I could not able to join in before because I think this is very useful. And
Yeah.
again, I'll try to make this meetings as much as I can, obviously, to get what is out there. Will definitely helpful. Sure.
Yeah. So let's have I don't know, catch up in about a month's time on this, and just to see whether
Who has done what? What have we learned?
Yeah. Because otherwise, we could discuss about these things, and if nothing happens, then it's pretty pointless, right? But I would like to do something as well. I would like to spend some time at least listing on some of those sites. But I got to skill up life. I got to work out and what is my positioning, because especially with that, we have two sides to the market, two sides. Again, with Spram, you got a multiple sort of positioning type. You got a positioning issue, I think, definitely. And Aklak, I mean, these are all too bit premature for you, right? So
yeah, I think for these, because my sector is slightly different and my target audience is slightly different, they wouldn't be looking at those. So need to find other avenues.
Yeah, but then again, you will have different sites probably for public sector.
Yeah, no.
Second, by the way.
Yeah, the public sector ones are slightly different. There's no, it's really bizarre. You go through like a consultancy stage and go through consultants. So you've got, for example, I think 6 software providers. So they'll go and tender, and those tender will go through, for example, procurement for housing. And the same people just submit the applications. It's like the repairs and maintenance